Alright, so we're back once again, and today for a little bit of a different challenge, we're going to do a little bit of gameplay live, and I thought, you know, gameplay's live, it's a bit boring, it's been done to death, so I thought, what way can I mix it up a little bit? And I thought, you know what, why don't I just pull off the A key, pull off the D key on my keyboard, and see what we can do in battle. Now, I might be a liability to my team, I might actually perform pretty well and be average, or I might even do well, but until we play the game, we just won't know. So, with that being said, let's get into it. And if you enjoy the content, consider subscribing. So, as you can probably see, we are in game. So, as I can only use the forward and back power buttons, well, that's all I'm going to be able to use. I can't turn, well, obviously I can turn my screen left, but I cannot turn my ship left or right. So that's going to make it a little bit more awkward. I think if I can get past this island right here, then we might be in business. We might be able to actually affect the game quite significantly, but we'll get to that crossroads once we get to it. But for now, we're just going to push this DD out of the way, I think, unless he suddenly wakes up. But yeah. Actually, I thought I would be the most useless ship in the game, this game, but it turns out, you know, there's always someone else there just to reassure you that you're not the worst player in the game. Oh, looks like he woke up. He's just going to get out of the way. Alright. So we are steaming at full power. At a chunky little 28.1 knots. So we're going to push basically in until we see ships, and then we're going to react some way. Generally, the way this map unfolds is either a significant amount of their team goes this way towards C, or they go this way towards A. And it looks like a lot of them are pushing towards C, so we might actually have a very light flank in terms of ships. So it might actually allow us to actually be, you know, somewhat effective. There's the GK, so we're obviously going to line up with him. Take a pot shot, and we forgot we loaded HE. Beautiful, wonderful start. Okay. Now, I think this is the first random battle I've played in about maybe a week or so. Actually, this is a beautiful spot. I might not even need to turn my ship this game. Oh, lovely Smolensk. But this is about the first game I think I've played in about a week or so. At least 3 or 4 or 5 days. I just haven't had the time. Okay, we're accelerating. Oh god. Okay, I'm about to cough, and these torpedoes are coming really quickly, so we're going to cut. Oh, never mind, we're good. Not about the cough, but the torpedoes. Okay, we're good. Spot the GK, line them up once again. The last salvo didn't hit, but I'm not surprised it didn't do any damage because, well, it was a HE salvo, so... At this point, it's probably better just to ram into the island and quickly reverse. We're not going to get around it. We do a decent 15k salvo on the GK, which is always nice. Now, at this point, I'd like to be a little bit further back, gain a little bit distance. We do get undetected, but I want to line up that Thunder for a little bit of a shot. Now, the problem here is that of all the ships that could have been spotted on this flank, the cruiser, Smolensk, is probably one of the least nice ships to be spotted in this flank, because my gun caliber is so large I just get overpens all goddamn day long, which makes it pretty unfun to play and makes the Smolensk pretty invulnerable to my firing. But what we're going to do now is just create a little bit more distance and then hopefully line up the Yamato. And I don't know what to say about this though, the fact that basically no one's even noticing that I'm not using any directions on my keyboard, and no one's actually noticing that I'm playing a bit weirdly. I don't know what that says about either the players of World of Warships or just the game in general. We do take a pot shot at the Smolensk. I'm not 100% sure it's going to hit anything. If it does, it's just going to be overpens. Yep, 2 overpens. But I think this is a good spot now to stop. And the worrying thing is if we get out of range. Now hopefully they can push through C and they come a little bit closer towards B, and in that retrospect not in that retrospect, but in that perspective, we can get a little bit more lead fired through the air, which would be nice. But we're not gonna rely on it. We're gonna keep firing on our flank. Now I was thinking about hitting the lightning, but it was 18 kilometers away. So again, I don't know what the longest distance at. Bodie McBoatface 1993, nice name. But I don't know what the longest distance I've ever had, or I've ever shot and hit a DD from, but I think it's around 14 or 15 kilometers. It could be more, and I'm just, you know, completely forgetting, but I think it's around that range. So again, yeah, there's the pings. That's the first time today, actually. But it probably won't be the last. So, again, Kurfürst is turning back in. And we have got the range to snipe him anyways, so... Do about 8k on the Yamato again, which is nice. Kurfürst showing us a little bit too much broadside. Now the thing is here, I want to see if the game, if the avoidant or collision avoidance system will actually kind of like drag my ship around the island, and I'll actually be able to accelerate a little bit further ahead and get around this island. But you can see we're going to go full tilt into the island and see where that brings us. If I could get around this island, I would have so many nice shots on the Thunder and the GK that I don't currently have, but... Now, of course, I do have the surveillance radar still. Not surveillance radar, the spotting plane. I don't know why I said surveillance radar there. Very strange. Yeah, it's going to take a long time. See the way the ship shifted a little bit to the left? It's going to take probably longer than the game has before it ends for myself to actually get around this island. So we're going to pop the spotting plane. So far, like, I've had actually a couple of decent salvos. I mean, if you had to drop something from the game, I think direction would probably be, especially with a ship like the Yamato, we have this much enormous range, it probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Now, if you're playing a DD, something like the Lightning or the Daring or something like that, you probably don't want to lose the ability to turn your ship. Oh my god, you cheeky little... yeah, in that case you'd probably want to lose something maybe like torpedoes or, you know, maybe a gun turret or a couple of guns, but generally on a battleship like this, it's not all that big of a deal. Let's see if we can hit him again. Oh, for the first time. I'm gonna fire this salvo. The one thing I don't want to do now is accidentally turn, and then I'm gonna have to... Oh my god, again. I'm gonna have to completely make this video again, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Although, my ability, or inability to play this game effectively, you never know. I'm at the Yamato. The one thing I dislike about the spotting plane is that you're never 100% sure of the angle of the ships. Especially like right here, I'm not 100% sure on, you know, what this angle is. So, getting your shots perfectly to land is really difficult. I'll pop heel. I feel this is going to be a pretty not nice salvo. Is he stopping? I'm going to shoot anyways, even if he isn't. But it looks pretty even at this point. Now if I could turn my ship, it would probably be less even. I would probably stand a chance of winning. But that's not the challenge we initiated. Oh my god, I can't even speak today. Now hopefully the Thunder... No, he's not going to stop. Not going to get stopped in time. But we still can't take shots at these ships. Just thanks to the ridiculous range on this ship. And I wouldn't do this challenge on any other ship. except for like massively long-range battleships, like the Yamato, but I can't even think of any others. Maybe the Shikishima, yeah, probably the Shikishima too, but outside of that, probably tier 10 BBs are probably the best ships to do this on, and have the most minimal effect on your team. Because even right now, the main reason I'm not at 100k is basically because I can't aim at all, basically. Not because my team, or because I can't aim my ship correctly, or angle my ship correctly. We're going to take another little pot shot at the Thunder. And we do get one over pen. Is he turning in? If he turns in, that's beautiful for us. It gives us some free cannon fodder. I think the ideal scenario for the Yamato on this map is to spawn right here. If he spawns right here, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful because you can just accelerate here and you have perfect fire from like 15 kilometers on both flanks. So that's probably the best spot you could spawn in the entire game, if you're doing this kind of wacky challenge. But otherwise, we're up to 62k, which is, I'd say normally it's a bad game on the Yamato if you're getting 62k. But considering the challenge, I say it's kind of average. Because generally you'd be expecting like 100k to be average if you had full control of your ship. But 60k, not too bad. Hopefully we get some salvos. What? What? Maybe he just had his super rudder instantly change direction. Dun, 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 dun. What ships have we got left? We have got the Montana, the Hindenburg, the Otago, Thunder, Kurfürst, the Yamato, Yugumo. Okay. So the game definitely still is up in the air. But I just want to be consistent. I don't want to aim. I do want to aim, I just don't want to turn my ship by accident. And this is more just like a meme challenge. That's why I'm not doing it in ranked, so I don't actually affect people's, actual rating. I'm doing it more in a random battle. It's just a little bit of fun. Something to mix it up a little bit. Decent 7k salvo. Thunder's a lot closer, so we're probably going to switch over to him. Plus I'm going to have a lot easier time, I think, penetrating the Thunder. Just due to the way he's angled. There we go. And I'm not really sure if my aim's actually improving. Like over time. I think I am getting a bit better, but it's just... At these longer ranges, seem to be the ranges that I'm pretty deficient on. I'll pop spotting plane again. Hopefully this lands. And we get one penetration with 2k damage. Not ideal. Now this Yamato does have the legendary mod, which means that, especially at longer ranges, it should be a lot more accurate. I think I've had the legendary mod for a couple of games now, so I'm still getting used to it. But it should mean it's a lot more accurate at longer ranges. Basically any range is a lot more accurate, but... Thank you. I appreciate it. I was going to type, sorry my A and D keys don't work, but then I thought, if I'm typing A and D, then why wouldn't they work? So yeah, that plan wasn't the smartest, but it'll be fine. We still have a good chance of winning this game, actually. If we can actually land a couple of our shots, which we haven't seemed to be doing so far. I think my goal for this game is just to get over 100k. If I can get 100k, then I'll be extremely happy. I think I have one more salvo left. And we get one over a pin. Beautiful. We go for the final shot effectively, I think, of the game. Although we probably will get another shot off on the core first, I think. I think we didn't lead enough. No, we didn't lead enough. Didn't take into account the acceleration, which is probably something a lot of people fall into. We're gonna pop the heal, but I think the game's pretty much over. This was a fun little experiment. I don't think it handicapped the ship as much as I thought it would. I think if I spawned in a better position, then I think we would have been A-okay. Especially with the Yamato's long range. Like I said, middle of the map would have been perfect. But I think even if I spawned on the other side of the map, I think it would have been fine too. But just because you're basically playing the lottery every game, depending on which side the enemy team pushes with a lot of force. This game they pushed the right hand flank and I was sitting on the left hand flank, so not all that much that could have been done. How did that what? One shell landed this side, one shell landed on the rest of them landed on the exact opposite side. I don't know. Funky stuff. Funky stuff. Okay, we're gonna go for the Thunder this time because, well, Thunder deserves it. Well, he doesn't deserve it, but he's the easiest target effectively. Goes the Grover first, just too tanky. Yamato's bow in. Thunder's executing a turn, but where's those shells gonna land? Okay, we do get a bounce. Again, it's very, wishy-washy. Again, this is the legendary mode on this ship, so I think I hit the Yamato. We might be able to do something. Crow Cup, 1986. Interesting. But he's angling out too, but again, at this point the game's pretty much over. With me not being able to turn effectively and angle, even though with really strange dispersion these last couple of shots, there's not really all that much I can do. And they get a couple of bounces, not all that much damage. And I think they are pushing into me, which is kind of curious. We're gonna take a couple more pot shots. The curve first, and not the Thunder. Thankfully we are protected, I think, for the most part, from the Yamato. So that shouldn't be all that much of a worry. Then again, the Thunder still has some really strong AP. I'm not worried all that much about the GK. See this guy turning out? I'm able to block him. We're gonna go for it. Being a bit greedy though. Being very greedy, turning out like this. Although he has to turn, I suppose, for the torpedoes. Did anyone else see that? What is up with the... Maybe I aimed just a little bit too low. I'm not 100% sure, but... yeah, very questionable. The last couple of shots started off pretty well, but then the last couple of shots just kind of got away from me. But I think that's going to be the game. Unless this guy can pull a miracle out of the hat. And we're going to try and help him out a little bit, but I don't think my shells are going to get over that island all that effectively. Well, a couple of did. Although I'm going to get blopped by the Yama, I think. Honestly, I'm surprised I haven't been killed already. Just mostly due to the fact that, well, I'm literally sitting full broadside to both of these ships. But I think that is going to be the end of the game and the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a different take on things. Normal programming will be back really soon, but until next time, I'll see you all in the next one.